All right, let's take some phone calls. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Nick in Brooklyn. Nick.
What's up, guys? Big fan, first of all. Just want to say that.
Thank you.
Of course. Quick conversation. If we decide or realize that the Orioles or any other team is really, really in on Skubal, I know the Tigers have said that they're not going to trade him, but I'm a really huge fan of Skubal. Would you guys trade Dominguez for Skubal or a Crochet type starter? Or do you think finding a bat is more important?
No, I think it's important to get a pitcher, but I am not trading Dominguez. I'll trade Jones. I'm not trading. Dominguez is your center fielder next year.
I was also going to say Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd be amenable to trading Jones.
Okay, because if they're not an option to be called up in the next year or so, what's the point of keeping them?
Well, you realize though, Nick, that Dominguez would have been up here if he wasn't hurt. Now, he's been activated by Scranton Wilkes-Barre, so I'd say it's a couple of weeks he could be called up here, too. The guy has shown that he's a terrific player. Showed in the big leagues, and we thank you for the phone call. I don't see them trading him. Doesn't make sense, because you might not have Soto next year. You have to have somebody play.
What is he, 24 years old, Michael? Now, you're going to have to give him, he's going to be a free agent, but still, the kid in Chicago. Crochet.
Oh, Crochet? No, Crochet has one more year.
I thought I just looked it up. It says,
no, the reliever, Garrett Crochet, the Kopech, I think, is going to be a free agent. Garrett Crochet has another year.
Because I was just looking at Baseball Reference. It says his signed through 2024.
Yeah, and then they could.
But he's arbitrary.
But my point is, if you're going to talk Skubal, that's a different story. Skubal might win the Cy Young Award. And that's a young player you have control for a long time. Garrett Crochet is pitching innings he's never pitched before. I'd go into that with much trepidation. Okay. Much trepidation.
But you were just saying about the Mets have to go for it. So if the Mets had a Dominguez, you would say hold on to him?
Yeah. Like, who's their best prospect? Whoever their best prospect is.
I guess it's Acuna. That would probably be who would be at the top of the list, I guess.
I mean, Parada. Kevin Parada is highly thought of, but he's having a bad year in the minors.
But I don't think anybody. The thing with Dominguez is it's not. I don't look at him as a prospect. I look at him as a guy that could be your starting center fielder next year.
Will be your starting center fielder.
Well, if
because even if they sign Soto, right? They're not going to sign Verdugo.
Right. I mean, and he would be up here if not for his injury. So he's here. He's not. And you saw when he was healthy what he was able to do when he played last year. He was one of the young kids that actually performed well when they called him up last year. So I don't look at him as a prospect because I think he'd be here if he wasn't hurt. And you're going to have somebody play the outfield. Now, Spencer Jones is a different situation, Michael. As highly touted as he is, where does he have a place to play anytime soon? If they bring back Soto and you've got Judge.
If he would be ready to play, if he's ready to play, they'd make a place for him to play. I mean, maybe, Stanton ends up being gone, Judge becomes your DH, and Spencer Jones could play anywhere in the outfield. They're a great defender. But he's not a great hitter right now. He's too much swing and miss. So, I mean, if it's the truth that the Yankees turned down Corbin Burns because they didn't want to give up Spencer Jones, you wonder if they regret that.
I think they have.
But they also have to realize that Corbin Burns is going to be a free agent. Corbin Burns could win the Cy Young Award this year, too. But then you have to pay him $30 million a year. So did you want to give up Spencer Jones for a guy for 1 year? Now, again, we keep talking about this is a one-year deal for the Yankees because that's the only time you know for sure that you're going to have Soto. It's a tough call. And, everybody keeps talking about the Yankee offense. The Yankee offense has been terrible. Terrible. But check this out. Since they went into this spin, right, they stopped pitching, not hitting, pitching. They score 4.6 runs per game in their last 24 games when they're 34 games when they're 11-23. So that's 11th in baseball. That's top third, barely top third, just over top third. They allow per game runs allowed per game, guys, 5.47. That's 28th. Their starting pitching ERA in those 34 games was 5.74. That's the worst in baseball. Worse than the Rockies, who play half their games in Colorado. It's pitching right now. Even though the offense has been dreadful and they're not slugging, it's been pitching. Their pitching has gone south since the first 70 games of the year.